I am playing RuneScape one coin flip at a time. This is Mike Penny. Mike is an Ironman who can only kill a mob until he has a 50% chance at that mob's rarest drop. After that, he is locked out of that mob forever. In a race against my own luck, I will unlock great pieces of gear, but I might miss out on best in slot upgrades. The goal? Completing the Master Combat achievements. This is 50-50. Over the past couple of years, the early to mid game for Ironman really changed. Whereas first you would get a fighter's torso and then do Slayer to make some money. Now there's another stop that people want to make along the way. And it's Moons of Peril. Now for Moons of Peril, you need defense gear. And defense gear was never really in style. People always wanted, the max hits, the strength gear. But there is one really good source of defense gear in this game, and it's Barrows. And luckily, we've worked very hard to unlock Barrows over the past couple of episodes, and to do it in a somewhat meaningful way. So we're gonna go into the crypts today, and we're gonna get all the combat achievements we can get, and we hope that we can get lucky on some Barrows pieces before I run out of kills. Starting out the video here with a nice juicy Ranar harvest. We're gonna need every prayer potion we can get for the Barrows combat achievements. Very brief calcified deposit update while we start the video. I'm at 42k blessed bone shards right now. I'm about to do some other content, but this is what I do on my downtime. This is what I've been doing when I was editing the previous video. It's going well. It's going well. I think I need 140k in total if I want to reach 70 prayer. But I mean, it's so AFK. It's just I don't even think about it when I'm doing it. Birdhouse run coming in with level 60 hunter. Beautiful. So before we get to Barrows, I was thinking that I maybe want to do all combat achievements for both Wintertodt and Tempoross. So that is why I'm gathering the Clue Hunter outfit right now, because I am on my way to Wintertodt to get all combat achievements over there. There we go. There's the Clue Hunter trousers. Don't look at the nothing interesting happens. That happened 7 times. I did not dig in 7 places except for this one. Leave me alone. See, this outfit is just, it's such a good outfit. I wish it had another use except for like being warm clothing. It looks really good. The art is so cool. Small hiccup because I did not have a level 50 fire making, but after this maple log, I do have a level 50 fire making and I can go to Wintertodt. There we go. That is the first combat achievement of the session. That is Handyman, 1 point, easy combat achievement. Plenty more to come. There is the second combat achievement of the session, by healing the Pyromancer. God, these combat achievements are so hard. Alright, so we've got 3000 points, which is enough to get the combat achievement for Y Fletch. So now it's just a matter of keep running in between these braziers and lining them just fast enough to finish him off. And there's the kill. So what do we get? We get Cozy, we get Y Fletch. We have failed leaving no one behind because the Pyromancer fell during the fight. And we've completed Can We Fix It? Beautiful. There we go. Leaving no one behind completed on KC number 3. Jumped to a mass world for this and just made sure that the back 2 Pyromancers were kept alive. And that seems to just be enough. That seems like these east and west people are keeping alive anyway, so fairly easy task. I think now let's have a look. I think it's just KC tasks. Wintertodt Novice, 5 times, Champion 10 times. So just 7 more Wintertodt KC and we can go. And that is Wintertodt Novice. 5 more kills, and then we're done with Wintertodt for the foreseeable future. And there we go. That is Wintertodt Champion, 10 KC. If we go over to the combat tasks completed, bosses, Wintertodt, all greened out. I think that is the first actual boss where we've gotten every single combat achievement possible. So hooray for us. So I can hear you all thinking, does Wintertodt count towards the 50-50 challenge? Do I have a maximum amount of KC for Wintertodt, since he doesn't drop anything immediately when you kill him. You have this sort of loot reward crit system. And the answer is yes. Wintertodt does count towards the 50-50 challenge because in, officially, gameplay-wise, it is a PvM encounter. It is a boss, not a minigame, and I think it makes sense for Wintertodt to be included. However, I really have no reason to worry, since the Dragon Axe is a 1 in 10,000 from these reward cards, which means I am allowed to kill 6,931 Wintertodt, or well, not kill that many Wintertodt, but I'm allowed to do that many pulls from this rewards card. So that's probably something I will never do, maybe if I end up going for the pet, but I see no reason to do that. So we're just going to use up our searches that we have right now. I'll keep track of them, and we will never exceed the 6,931. You know what? We're going to do big pools. We're going to do big searches. Big searches for the big boys. Ooh, double Ranner seed. Hell yes, double Brumatorch is not ideal, but double Ranner seed is so nice. Immediately putting these new Ranner seeds to work by harvesting these nice crammy ones. I got my Ultra Compost, and then I'm gonna check on my farming contract. Level 50 farming. There we go. After approximately 1 day of AFKing the fishing trawler, we do now have the full angler set, which is a requirement for one of the Tempoross combat achievements. Because nothing shouts I'm good at combat like wearing fishing gear. So for Tempoross, I'm choosing to do all these combat achievements solo because there's a very nice solo method where you keep Tempoross's energy below 10%. And if its energy is below 10%, then it doesn't perform any special attacks, which gives you a lot of time to either get some more points to get that combat achievement, or just sort of zone out a little bit when you're actually playing the game. And let's see if I repair this. That should be a combat task. Yeah, calm before the storm completed. Beautiful. Master of Buckets completed. That's number 2. There we go. Let's see, what do we have? We have Dress Like You Mean It, that is the angler outfit. We have Why Cook, which is 10 permits, and we have the Lone Angler, which is the solo kill. So let us have a look here at the combat tasks completed. And we still need Fire in the Hole, which is attack Tempoross from both sides by loading both cannons on both ships. And then we have 10 KC and 5 KC. So I think I'm just gonna do this Fire in the Hole sort of in a one-off, complete that task, quit, and then just get 9 more KC. And then we should be done. So unfortunately, didn't get all of them in one single kill. That would have been pretty cool. Just Fire in the Hole left, and it's the Y Cook is the hardest one. And that is Fire in the Hole completed, and then we're immediately going to forfeit, and then it's time to get 9 more KC. And that is the kill required for Tempoross Novice. 5 more kills to go. So I've been trying to set up easy farming contracts, but that hasn't really worked out in my favor. My current contract is cabbages, and they just keep on dying. As you can clearly see, dead cabbages over there, and this is like the 4th time I've tried. So I think I want a change of pace. I don't think easy contracts give very good rewards anyway, so I might as well immediately make the jump to medium contracts, and then actually compost them very well. And have a little bit of a higher farming level to go with it. So I'll do some quests probably to get my farming up a little bit. Then do tight farm with the Bologanova or whatever seeds you want to call it. And then do that until 65 farming so that I can unlock the medium farming contracts. That's the revised farming plan. Starting off the revised farming plan with 53 farming. There we go, that is Creature of Finkenstrain completed. Now on to Garden of Tranquility. Damn, did you see that hit splat? That's not even her max hit. There we go, that is Garden of Tranquility completed. 5,000 farming experience, which should bring me to level 54, which is what I need for Bologna seeds in Type Farm, which I'm gonna do right now, so I can unlock medium contracts. That is the goal. All right, here we go. This is going to be our first batch of fruit. We're gonna deposit all 300 and see where that gets us. It's 21k per deposit, which is actually pretty damn good. So this should get us a couple of levels, but we're not gonna get there at all. We're gonna need, I think, 1400 fruit deposits in total. So this whooping is about quarter of the way there. Then I think I'm gonna buy the first upgrade that Brits in Amsterdam always buy, which is auto weed, because it's just a very nice quality of life thing. That is another batch of 400 fruits, which will get me to level 62. These were some nice levels. I think 60 is yew seed, 61 is snapegrass, and 62 is snapdragon. Count checking in on me and making sure that I get my daily lamp to put into Slayer. This will get me to level 50. And this here is going to be the final hand in. That is 65 farming. I can now enter the mid tier of the farming guild, and with that also unlock medium farming contracts. Now I do have a lot of points that I should be able to spend in the store here, but unfortunately I cannot buy an herb sack yet because that has a certain herbal requirement. So for now, I'm gonna hang on to these points because I might want to buy a herb sack later, and of course I don't want to spend Slayer points on that if I can buy it through other means. Just elking some of the spurious loot from last episode, and it actually got me like 200k, which is a fairly bit more money than I thought I would get from spurious. Alright, we are about to enter Barrows for the very first time, but before I want to do that, I want to process all the blessed bone shards that I already have. Since I'm gonna need that prayer as much as possible when I'm gonna kill Barrows. So I'll just use what I have right now. It won't get me all the way to 70. I think it will get me like halfway there, maybe 63, 64. And so now I'm just buying a couple of wines and then we'll process those. Alright, I hope you are ready for the dopamine rush because here it comes, baby. Here it comes. Here's the first level, 47. Let's do this. And those should be the final couple of bone shards. So it did not get us to 64, it did get us to 63, which is perfectly fine for our first Barrows experience. Let's do this. Now, the Barrows maps is so interesting that I'm probably gonna do an entirely separate video on it, but I will highlight the main points here. Let's start by asking the question, how many kills am I actually allowed to do of the Barrows brothers? Well, let's assume I kill all 6 brothers. Then the real question becomes, how many chests am I allowed to open? Well, if you look at these graphs, I have a 50% chance of getting a Barrows item at 11 chests. So does that mean I am allowed to open only 11 chests and only kill all the Barrows 11 times? No. Because what our rule set is based around is the rarest individual item. And yes, while all the items have the same rarity, if I just pick one that I specifically want, let's say Darok's plate body, then I would have a 50% chance at the Darok's plate body at 243 chests. So if you're hunting for a specific item, the 50% chance point lies at 243%. Now, there's a lot of other questions that you might want answering, such as what are the odds for me of completing a full set? What is the chance to complete the entire collection log? How many kills do you have to do on average to complete the collection log? But like I said, I think because the content here is so deep mathematically, I think I'm gonna do an entirely separate video on that. So if you want that, let me know in the comments and make sure you turn the bell on for notifications for when it comes out. Now, the items we really want here are mostly tank legs and a tank top. If I can get one of the two, I feel comfortable enough, popping on either rune plate body or rune plate legs for the other defense gear. And then I can make myself over to Moons of Peril. So that means we're looking for either a Darok top or legs, a Torak top or legs, or a Varrock top or legs. Guffins is also decent, but Guffins has slightly worse defense stats than the other brothers. And of course, Arim and Karl are not melee style anyway. Alright, it's time for the very first Barrows run. I am excited to do some actual PvM content. First, we gotta talk to this strange old man to make sure we start the mini quest that will grant us another 10k prayer experience if we complete it. That is the hardest combat achievement from Barrows. Defense, what defense? I think if you've ever done a single Barrows run in your life, you will have this combat achievement. It's killing a Barrows brother while using mage. Okay, small hiccup. I ran into RM in the tunnel and my magic doesn't hurt him because of course he has a high magic level, and my dragon scimitar also doesn't hurt him because my stats are a little bit shit. So I looted the chest without killing him, and I'll bring some stronger mage gear for the next trip, so I hope to get some more accuracy. For our second Barrows run, we are going to be focusing on a single combat achievement, which is Pray for Success. All I have to do is just keep my prayer up against all the Barrows brothers and not take any damage from them. Sounds easy enough. Let's do it. Now, I say that, and then I, of course, forget that Varrock can hit through prayer, so I'll just have to kite Varrock around and hope I don't make a mistake. I think if I walk out here like this and then run to the other side, I should be... Oops, not too fast. But if I can keep in on the long side of this coffin here, I should be good. And that hit should do it. So I didn't take any damage from Varrock, so that's beautiful. And now it's just praying against Torog and Arm. Okay, so granted, I am still splashing a little bit, but equipping the lunar gear, and I think I have a beacon ring on and all that good stuff, does improve accuracy against arms by quite a bit. So I think this should be manageable for the foreseeable runs. And now, if everything did go according to plan, this should be Pray for Success, a medium combat task, and the easy tier of combat achievements completed. Beautiful. Now, I think I accidentally destroyed the strange icon because my inventory was full. But hey, we'll get that next time. So next task I'm going to try for is the Can't Touch Me task, in which the melee brothers cannot hit you at all. It doesn't matter if you're praying, so you have to kite them. Now, you can really only complete this if you have either Carl or Arim in the tunnels, because then you can kite all the melee brothers around their respective sarcophagus. But it is a little bit of a tricky kite, especially when there's other players in the world. I've been trying to learn it and I'm making plenty of mistakes. So we'll see if I can get it, but definitely not this kill. Oops. Alright, KC number 3, or really KC number 2 if you don't count the first one because I didn't kill Arim. Do we get anything? Oh no, that is the strange icon. I got baited a little bit there, but I forgot that I didn't loot that properly the first time. Unfortunately, nothing. 20k prayer experience. Wow, I thought it was 10k. That's very nice. We'll take that. 64 prayer. There we go. That is Arim killed without using a single prayer point. We did use a lot of food, but we have Carol in the tunnel and all the others we should be able to save spot if I don't mess up too big. But we'll see. Ooh, that was close. What do we get? Nothing. But we do get Faithless Crypt Run. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Another run, another failed attempt at Can't Touch Me. I will get it at some point, but just not now. So let's see what we have in the chest. This is KC number 5. What is it gonna be? Nothing. Screwed up yet another attempt, and what do we get? Damn it. Couldn't do Can't Touch Me this time because I had Darrock in the tunnel, and I get nothing. So at this point I ran out of Rings of Dueling, and normally what I do is after a KC I teleport to Ferox's Enclave to restore my agility and stats and prayer and all that good stuff. And then I either minigame teleport to Shades of Morn to get back to Barrows, or I take the Fairy Ring, that's a little further away, but a Barrows KC takes me about 10 minutes, so I can alternate between the minigame teleport and the Fairy Ring. This is going to be a combat achievement, but it is not going to be Can't Touch Me. It is going to be Barrows Novice. This is KC number 10. One more chest, and I should have a 50% chance at a single item. KC number 11 should give me a 50% chance at an item, and what do we... Oh my god! Yes! 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 Yes!